Hey guys, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the only podcast with absolutely zero upside, recorded in nature amongst sweet little puppy dogs. And speaking of sweet little puppy dogs, here he is, folks. He's a barking for his supper. He's a sweetie pie. His name, it's Edward Pepitone.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to Apocalypse Zoo, the podcast with no upside in nature around puppy dogs. And Kevin, good to see you, pal. Me and Kevin had a nice little road trip where we went to Newport Beach, Costa Mesa, about an hour and a half? An hour.
Yeah. About an hour if traffic's good.
Right.
Yeah, we had fun at Le Cave.
And then we went to the beach.
Yes, the beach was very fun.
Me and Kevin go to the beach at midnight. We skinny dip.
Very cold.
It's very cold, but both of us listen to Rogan, and cold plunges are the way to go. Right? We choose to do them at midnight.
It's when it's available. Nobody's out there, nobody there to judge us.
We were there illegally. No question about it. We were like in the backyard of certain people that we didn't know, and they had their security lights on.
Yeah, they turned them on. We got a little scared. But I've always felt that if it's legally questionable, it's a little more fun. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. The best sex I've had was illegal. Anyway, I see a little puppy dog running around like a crazy man. Little puppy dog, little puppy dog, little puppy dog. God, folks, if you could only see these dogs. So we had, I did 2 more spots. I performed Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're recording on a Sunday. We're recording on Oscar Sunday.
I know.
Oh, let me tell you, folks, if you haven't been in Los Angeles for Oscar Sunday, there is a palpable sense of excitement here.
Oh, yes.
I just walked into my local Starbucks, and everybody is chatting about, will it be The Brutalist, which is the favorite? Will Timothy Chalamet?
Oh, will he get snubbed? Will he receive the award that we're all clamoring that we're hoping he gets it?
How about a Nora and a great breakout performance from Mikey Madison? It's all the talk of the tent cities out here, all the people who are in tents and shooting up. And dying in the streets in front of everybody.
Yes.
It's Oscar time for them too. It doesn't matter.
On my way to the well earlier this morning, I saw...
Where?
On my way to the well. Of course, we still got to boil the water, but on my way there, there was a man on fire, and he just wouldn't stop talking about a Nora, and he is just 100%.
He was actually on fire.
He was, but that's not unusual for that part of town where I live, which I have to live there. Are they
lighting themselves on fire to protest things, or
with the amount of people on fire in my neighborhood, it's really. I mean, we're talking about the gambit of reasons. Some of it's accidental.
Gambit. Yeah.
Some of it's intentional. It's
the spectrum of yeah. Oh man.
The spectrum of men on fire.
Yeah, there was a movie, Denzel. Hello, hey. Don't kill it, whatever you're seeking.
I love it. Dude,
that dog was serious.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if it was coming after us. Like, I got scared for a second.
That's what the police rely on. They have dogs trained like that. And
yes.
And you know what I feel bad for, these shepherds, these German Shepherd trained police dogs, is that they're going to be replaced by robotic dogs. And that is something that is sad to think about.
It is.
That's taking jobs away from the shepherds.
Well, AI is soon going to be taking over the police force.
Oh, my God. The RoboCop thing? Did you ever see RoboCop when it first came out?
Oh, yeah.
Me too.
Eddie, I got to show you something. If you liked RoboCop.
I liked the first one.
There's some nut job out there who is absolutely brilliant, who made a short. So remember the scene in RoboCop when the lady is getting assaulted by the 2 guys, and RoboCop comes out and he shoots through her dress and blows the guy's junk off?
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So whoever this is, and I'm going to give credit at the bottom of the screen here, but they made a montage of guys getting their dicks blown off. So he saves the day with that one girl, and then another group comes out with another girl, and he blows it off.
Has this thing gone viral?
I don't think so. This was like probably came out like 10 years ago or something. But it looks exactly like the original Terminator. Or not Terminator. It looks exactly like the original RoboCop.
Oh, okay.
And so it matches up, and it's very graphic. But it is hilarious. Hey, pup.
We got a lot of doggies running around today. Well, that sounds good. And how did we get to RoboCop? Were we talking about movies?
I can't remember.
Anyway, there's a palpable sense.
Palpable.
Whether it's homeless people, whether it's people who are just struggling to live paycheck to paycheck, which is everybody I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hang with the wealthy crowd. I have wealthy comedian friends, but because of our income disparity, there is not a lot of commingling.
There's not a lot of common ground,
Yeah, because they're into, like they are going to big Hollywood parties.
Yeah.
And, I'm not ready for that yet in my, at my stage. I am only 66. I need some more years to get used to. And by the way, when I tell people I'm 66, it's very jarring. They're like, oh my God, we're not going to have Eddie much longer. Well, let me tell you something. We've had each other for this much time, and for that I am grateful. Mm-hmm. And it's been lovely, and it'll be lovely till the end,
Well, dude, you've been living a very healthy lifestyle for the most part.
Lately.
With the exercise and whatnot.
Right.
But,
right.
And by the way, the value of exercise cannot be understated.
Yeah,
especially when it comes.
Especially
to
when you get older. I hate to tell you.
Yeah,
but when you get older, your body doesn't recover as quick, so you kind of have to maintain. That's the thing when you're older, and a lot of people think it's just walking, but it's not. Older people need to do weight training, resistance training, and I am one of them. So I have a trainer. I can afford. Like I say, I don't mingle with celebs because I'm not in that income level, but I do have enough money which is a great luxury to have a trainer.
Yeah.
And he just guides me through it, and he makes it fucking so much easier for me,
He does a great job, and he seems to be a great guy.
He's a great guy. Kevin Fulmer.
Yeah. Great name too, Kevin.
Yeah.
He was nice. When did we meet him? We met him here? I can't remember.
I meet him every 2 or 3 times a week.
When did I meet him? Come on.
Yeah, but you met him at a show. He's come to a couple of my shows.
I think so, yeah.
And I always say shit like, folks, my trainer is here in the audience. He's very disappointed in me. Or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I forget.
Well, one of my favorite lines is, what was it? My life coach recently committed suicide trying to get me to do a pull-up. One of my
I don't remember that. I don't remember that bit. That is pretty funny, though.
I can't remember if it was a pull-up. It's on one of your albums. Eddie.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of your albums,
by the way, as Kevin gets us into the podcast, I hear the sirens in the background, the emergency vehicles, and I think, yes, it is Oscar Sunday.
It is Oscar Sunday. Yeah, you can feel it.
The emergency vehicles, people overdosing, people in town for the Oscars and overdoing it. You know how many people probably woke up today, because Oscar parties are all weekend here in LA, and so they woke up today just going, oh my God, kill me. Somebody kill me. I was out till 6:30 in the morning at Gwyneth Paltrow's place, just getting blowjob after blowjob, and I feel exhausted.
Did you go to the Goop party this year, Eddie?
No, I don't go to parties much. I go to a few. Very hand-picked parties I go to.
I found myself in odd situations a couple of times. Just
Isn't that a great summation of life? I found myself in a couple of odd situations a couple of times.
well, you know, like I don't know.
Very awkward.
I've gotten invited to some parties where, like, when I went to the SNL after party once, where like I don't belong there. I kind of get in there by accident, you know, So when I'm in there will come a point in the night where maybe I'll walk in on a room and something's going on, like drugs or whatever, just a bunch of people I don't really know, and I just got to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna head out. It was great. This is great, but I'll see you guys later. You know, because I can't hang. Usually,
you can't what?
I can't hang in a lot of those situations unless I know somebody.
Yeah,
because it's usually if I'm there, it's like with one other person, and then God forbid we get separated.
Being around famous people that you don't know is mainly a drag. Some of them are so fucking cool, though. They're just people. But anyway, you had a question for me.
Well, I wanted to do kind of an interview, you know, with you, just ask you some questions.
Okay.
Kind of Apocalypse Soon After Dark, you know, Larry King Live. By the way, you had a line the other night that was, I don't have fuck you money, I have...
Pardon me, I was in this line before you money. Yes, that'll be on the new special that's hopefully going to get some traction soon.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't wait. Look at that.
I'm bummed out that it's not out yet.
That airplane going into the clouds right there.
Hello, airplane.
Hello. Well,
whenever I see an airplane, I always think of penis. And no, I do. It's like I am going into a vagina. Whenever I see an airplane, it's like, that's my penis. And I'm flying into a vagina, hopefully soon.
I love that. That kind of optimism, you know. It's very Freudian. But
and
also,
with your next out breath.
Well, I wanted to ask you, so last time we kind of did an interview, I was asking you a bit about the early days and when you first started doing it, and you had said you went up at a friend's poetry thing.
Yeah.
And you were doing stand-up up there. I don't know, I kind of wanted you to elaborate on some of those early days, you know, when you were first trying it out.
Okay. So, you know, I've been thinking about this recently, too, because we never lose the fear about actualizing ourselves or becoming ourselves. We never lose the fear of pursuing our dream, because pursuing our dream is basically what we're put on earth for. Because our dream, you know, people who are in tune, their dream to do with their life is always in service of the greater good, which is what life is about. So as a comic, you know, I want to realize the dream of just being funny and free and being a beacon for others to not be imprisoned by their thoughts, and that our weapon is humor. Our weapon is humor against this world. And I was thinking of how we live right now, particularly right now with the ascension of Donald Trump and Elon Musk and the takeover, the blatant takeover of America by billionaires, oligarchy. We're in an oligarchy. And I'm still seeing talking heads talk about a democracy. We're not in a democracy. Can people wake up? But so what I was saying is that to pursue your dream, you know, to lighten your load, absurdism right now for me is really key.
Yeah.
Because we live in such absurd times where the people in power purposefully lie.
Yes.
And it's all a money grab. It's all a money. It's all robbery. It's all kleptocracy.
By the way, what year was that? Those poetry festivals.
Oh, okay.
I get you. You started getting on a roll with Musk.
Right.
I was like,
1980
1980. Okay,
ish. You know,
So
little before, little after.
the year of my conception.
Yes. When you were doing your first cries, being born, I was being born as a stand-up, and it really is like being born.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're following your gut dream, whenever you're going toward making your mark in the world, being creative, you come up against such incredible demons.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why when you tell me you've had a religious background, I get it. I get where this stuff comes from. Demons are real.
Yes.
But they're inside us, you know?
Yeah. Well,
they're us, and we have to befriend them,
Yeah.
like the Buddha said, and we have to learn to live it, not give them power, not be fear.
yeah, they're obstacles that we create on our own at best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at worst, they're straight up the work of, darkness. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I've seen your demon. Your demons are kept in that VIP area in hell.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know, the velvet rope?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're ordering bottle service over there. Beautiful women.
You remind me again of Oscar Sunday. I was just walking down the street here in North Hollywood, and Kate Blanchett is coming at me, and I tipped the cap, and I said, Miss Blanchett, may I say that your performance in the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey still to this day resonates for me. I'm sorry to bother you, but good day. And, she usually Blanchett has tased me, but this time she did not. No, Kate Blanchett is known for her taser, as is Cher. Cher has a taser. And so be careful, everybody out there, when you're approaching celebrities, particularly the gorgeous, talented ones. There's a lot of walls of defense. You know that.
Oh, they got to have their guard up.
Right.
They got to have their guard up. Now, did you have to have your guard up back in 1980 when you were on stage at the poetry?
My guard up?
When you were first doing stand-up? I keep bringing it back to the question.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you, though. Did you have to keep your guard up when you were in 1980 and you're there?
Yeah, but it was scary to first start stand-up, and I had to do it in front of friends, you know?
Yeah.
And it was good, you know? I mean, it was very nurturing. The people I did it in front of are still my very best friends to this day. We're kind of artists. We're kind of like partners in crime. You know, they do it poetry and music, and I'm the comic. So we're a good combo.
Well, you do a little poetry and music yourself, you know.
Well, you know, I didn't want to say it. You said it.
Well,
so, you know.
That was one of the suggestions for the name of this podcast.
Was what?
Poetry and music.
Yes, you're right. You know, me and Kevin are starting a show at the Improv Lab. We should get it out there immediately. Folks, if you're in the LA area, go onto the Improv website. Me and Kevin are starting a show. It's going to be at the Improv Lab, which is the workspace of the Hollywood Improv. And we're going to be workshopping bits of podcast bits. It's a great thing for fans of the show, and we're going to be doing stand-up. We're basically going to take it over. Maybe we'll only have one guest comic.
Yeah.
Maybe one comic to perform with us.
In April, in the lab. Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out, April, the lab.
A little lab.
Now, so you're doing this periodically? After that first time, did you start finding places to go? Were you hitting up?
It was a circuitous journey. My stand-up in the early years was just, this would be the pattern. Do stand-up at these intimate events with friends, and then go do open mics in New York City, which terrified me.
Mm-hmm.
Terrified me.
In front of all the cool kids.
Just terrifying.
Now, how old were you in 1980?
I don't want to brag, but I was 22. Yeah.
So what open mics were you going to?
The New York Comic Strip, it was called.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's still there. It may have closed recently. World famous club, New York Comic Strip.
Okay. So
What's that? I just heard a squirrel chime in.
Yeah,
it's still open. Thank you. Imagine we were interspecies, me and you.
Yeah.
And we just like had podcasts and stuff, and we're thanking the squirrels. Thank you, Mr. Squirrel.
What was it? EddiePetPodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, feel free to send the ideas in. Man. So.
And then here was the pattern.
Yeah.
Do stand-up, then pull back from stand-up. And my comedic stuff took different forms. I would do sketch comedy, improv comedy. I started a sketch group with 2 friends, and one of them is still a great friend of mine.
Oh,
and
no. What?
Peter Rosenberger. And I then would go back to stand-up, and I did that kind of dance. And I also would write. I would also write. I did a lot of short stories and like 5 one-act plays. Like I wrote a lot of different ways.
I love that.
No, I just had those outlets for comedy. I'm trying to get back to those.
Yeah. Well,
because I want to be like Gene Hackman. Hackman, I don't know if you know this, but in his latter years, he was just writing little westerns and a lot of different like things. And I want to die like Hackman. I want to die with a dog and a wife with pills around her, and just found lifeless in a nice place. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a goal.
Yeah. But having.
By the way, have you been watching there is a webcam where you can watch Hackman and his wife just deteriorate. Like, yeah, if you want to watch that webcam, they show Hackman and his wife for 2 weeks.
It's on pay-per-view?
No, it's you could just get it online.
Oh my
Gene
God.
Hackman and wife, and there's like a 2-week webcam that people had. Oh, this is a beautiful doggy. Hello.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Was it a gas leak of some sort?
They don't know.
They don't know. But
they don't know.
They both just kind of lost it.
Yep.
Wow. That has to be something. Man.
It has to be something. Yeah. Well, Hackman was 95. His wife was only like 68 or something.
Yeah.
Or 6. I don't know.
Do you see her taking pills on the webcam? Or,
by the way, I'm kidding. There's no webcam.
Son of a.
By the way, folks, this is dark material. Mm-hmm. It goes under the heading of. Oh, hello. It goes under the heading of like, I am going to, try to be uncensored and really dip, because the dark comedic arts. You know what? One of the things you have to do. You have to be able to say things without judging yourself too harshly. So it's a difficult thing because you have to censor yourself. You do have to censor yourself somewhat because you don't want to be a force for evil.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to say horrific force for evil type things.
Right.
And fill in the blank there on force for evil.
Yeah.
You have to, but you also have to have that fucking portal open enough.
It's hard, man.
Where you can, like the other night, to take it back to our performance, me and you did La Cave in Costa Mesa. You had a really good and I told you this after the set,
Yeah.
you had a really good stage presence. You were in a comedic zone. And what I mean by that is that you had that portal open.
Yeah.
You had that door open to your creativity.
Yeah, I really appreciate you saying that too. But yeah, I felt, there's some times where you just feel like you're kind
And
of
we open it more and more. No, but like, okay, so you had that door open, and the next time, the goal is open that door more.
Yeah.
And the next time, open that door more, and keep opening that door.
Yeah.
Until you're really... It becomes a little religious. It becomes a little megalomaniacal.
Yeah. Well, religion is
We're
another
just
door.
vessels, though, man.
I see. I love that. And, we talked about that a little bit in the car, too, where
Right.
I think it was Malcolm Gladwell said something he referenced the Beatles kind of almost mockingly laughing at interviewers who would attribute them with any talent.
Yeah.
And they were very much just like, we just write the songs,
Hello.
Oh, little sweetie.
Hello.
Hey, puppers.
He's a ham.
Man. Just beautiful dogs. And,
Another beauty.
I got to get
Oh,
Gus back out here.
Hello.
We got to get Gus back out here to get
what
the
a
dog
night.
cam going.
Oh, man. Sorry, folks. We're having so much fun with the doggies in the park, man. It's so much fun, isn't it?
It is very fun. It's a beautiful day. And the drama of clouds in Los Angeles, along
That's
with...
very true. Now, right now, if they could see it, the light that is dancing on the grass of the park, it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. The only thing that could make it better is if people were strewn about making incredible love, like acrobatic love.
Acrobatic love, not just physical, though. You can tell that there's
Not just
spiritual stuff. It's not just a physical act, too, when you see them in the park.
Absolutely not. To me, the physical act of lovemaking is the very last thing on my mind.
Absolutely. Spiritual, emotional.
Yes, it's all, for me, spirit, which is why I'll do a lot of it on Zoom now.
Oh,
I will do a lot of
absolutely.
lovemaking on Zoom.
My wife loves that kind of stuff.
I know she does.
My wife's favorite kind of
My
love
wife.
favorite kind of love making is metaphorical. That's what she says. Those are my favorite sessions.
Yeah, literal is not.
No. It's old hat. She says.
So it's all about, like, you were in a good. You have to remember that too. Like, you were in a good place, and I've seen you do that before, where you're in a very good place.
I've been.
You're
feeling
close.
good.
This is what I'll say with you, Ben. You're close to really breaking through, I think. You just got to keep... Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, you know? And you'll... It's not going to be easy because... And you already know that, but it's just fucking the constant slaying of demons. That's all it is.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, what do they call the journey? Who's the author that would talk about the great journey? Excuse me, sir.
Hello, boys.
Sir, I'm talking about an author.
Go get him. That is a LAPD copter.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, boys.
The drama. Of
I
the
left
Academy
a
Award.
pie for you on top of a roof downtown, Wells Fargo.
You're so nice for doing that for these boys.
I don't mind.
Kind of
the
kind of everything.
opening the portal, you're breaking through, like getting into these zones.
Oh, I know what I was thinking though. Before I lose it is when you talk about like the demons in your own head. Is I got a fucking bullshit horoscope once. And it has stuck with me, and I hate
it. Hit on something.
It hit on something, and then I took a personality test years later, and it said the same thing, and I will never
What?
forget.
Can
it.
you tell us, or is it too?
Oh, no. It says yours is a personality type that will run full speed right up to the finish line before you give up. It basically said my personality type gets right to the finish line, and then stops. So,
oh, I see.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
a great thing.
Not great. And
You get to the finish line, then stop.
So-
And would you call that self-sabotage?
Yes. For example,
Right.
getting, quote unquote, getting at the Hollywood Improv development program as an employee, I am like, yeah, I'm like, this is something that I wanted. I'm excited about it. But there's also a part of me that's very uncomfortable being the guy that got it.
Yeah.
Because being the guy who didn't get it is very fun. Like, yeah, these fuckers, they don't know who they're dealing with, By the way, I'm like shivering.
It's okay. We'll make it through.
Yeah.
It's like we're in like dead of Alaska. It's in the 50s. It does feel cold out here, but it's really not. My friend last night was in upstate New York, 7 degrees.
Wild.
Last night, he said 7 degrees. It was at night. That's cold.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I want to say this before we move on. If you want to help Kevin Tinkin along in his journey, you could be on the just the base room floor to help me out. So there's a lot. Sounding endorsement from Eddie Pepitone. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah.
There's
what are you pleading for right now?
Just any help, just anything. No, I really want to get a commercial, or not a commercial. I want to get a theatrical agent this year, and I got a pretty good reel from just a ton of projects that I've done throughout my life, and
a ton of what?
Different video projects and stuff that I've done throughout my life, yeah. So I'm swinging. So you saying that kind of stuff, I'm always like, I'm gonna take it as a sign. But the demon that I battle is just like,
stopping before you're successful. Now, I wanted to say that's a tough one, and I have it too. And the bottom line of that one is you feel like you don't deserve success, and I think a lot of us have that because of the way we were brought up, and so many people are so afraid of being left behind. Like our parents subconsciously didn't want us to be successful, because if we're successful and independent, that means they're left alone.
Absolutely.
And, a good parent, of course, doesn't do that to a child because they have enough, accomplishment or self-esteem that they can let their kid grow.
Well, that's the thing, from a father's perspective, you
don't want your kid to leave. It takes a really strong person to be able to, have your kid do their thing.
Yes. Well, and I think we have a pretty good balance, because I'm kind of like, I've constantly been reminding my wife and my children that they're going to be on their own someday, so learn how to do this stuff.
You're planning to take your life soon. You entrusted that to me. I am, by the way, folks, please don't tell anybody else that Kevin is planning, for insurance and other things. So we can't have this getting out, only to our listeners.
That's right. That's right. Which is nice, We have, we've reached beyond 3,000 subscribers, so I don't know.
It's just the beginning.
I know. I'm excited, dude. And this is, by the way, this will be the 160th episode.
160.
Yes.
That's stick-to-itiveness right there.
Absolutely. Every week, in and out, up and down. We don't stop.
We don't stop.
But I want to get some more Pepitone history, because we were talking in the car on the way back from Newport Beach about, you got some stories, you got some people that you've interacted with, you've done some really cool things in your life, and I don't know if you revisit too much of them very often. But so when would you say was your first like big
break
opportunity or big break?
It was very clearly with Conan O'Brien and the Conan O'Brien Show, and I had been doing stuff like I got I got a part in a show called Spin City, which was an old sitcom with Michael Fox, and my friend Beth Littleford was in it, and she got me on. I got my SAG card, and then I started to do like weird comedy bits on, I mean, the typical shit I've been doing my whole career, like like the weirdest places, Cartoon Network. Like, I'm always peripheral. Or I always have been peripheral. And then one of my friends, a brilliant comedian, Andy Blitz, who wrote for Conan, wrote a bit with me in mind. And all of a sudden, this is New York, I got a call from Conan. Can you come down and do this bit? And all of a sudden, that night, I was at 30 Rock in the middle of the stage doing just a long monologue, and you could look this up on YouTube, I think it's on there, of me being Mikey, the kid you can give anything to eat, being on the box, being on a cereal box. And I'm all pissed off because that week that they were running the auditions to be Mikey, I was grounded for the whole week, and I couldn't go on the audition. And my friend Andy wrote me a monologue for that I did live TV, and I was so fucking nervous.
Oh, I bet.
I want to go back and watch it now. I'm thinking it probably isn't that great, but I got through it.
Dude, you know what you should do? You should set up your phone of yourself watching it, and then watch it, and then send it to me, and I'll sync it and everything. And then you can pause it and talk and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, dude. So that is wild. Your buddy Andy was just like, "Hey, can you be on national television tonight?"
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that was the beginning of me doing really cool bits from the audience.
Yeah.
And sketches. You know, I did a sketch with Ron Lynch once on Conan.
That's
How cool is that?
Man,
and Ron Lynch, for those of you who don't know, is just an iconic, legendary comedian out here in Los Angeles who's so funny.
Incredibly dark.
Yeah, has all the demons me and Kevin were just talking about.
Yeah,
brilliant guy, and he I guess was living in New York at the time as well, I think. And we just did. He knew all these guys. Ron knows everybody.
That's amazing. So then, did you do that character multiple times?
Oh yeah. Oh, the Mikey character?
Yeah.
No, I just did different rants.
Yeah.
I would, that was because back then I was really ranting as a like I do it now, but I mix it up now.
Yeah.
Where it's ranting, and then it's like back then I just used to be.
And a lot of people have been saying you're too well adjusted.
Well, they haven't spent any time with me.
The old Eddie was playing Russian roulette 24/7.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were doing a bunch of different characters. Dude, Conan O'Brien, too, I think, is the best. The
best?
Yes.
He's very...
Letterman is also obviously
I like
amazing.
Conan, too. Even though I feel ultimately Conan... he didn't completely take me into the fold. I mean, I did a lot of stuff, but I felt like I could have done more through Conan. Maybe it's my fault, but... I would have loved to have done some other stuff on that show.
Did you ever do a traditional stand-up set on there?
No, because I just thought I could go and do some stand-up there, and they wanted to see my set, and I gave them a set, and they started like giving me all these notes, and I was like, you know what? Go fuck yourself.
No notes. Sorry, no
Nah,
notes.
I understand some, but like change this, change that. I was like, I should have done it. Now that's an example of me not battling that demon very well. Like, I probably should have bit the bullet and wrote a set.
Dude, we should start sending in some of your sets now.
Maybe.
To some of the late night shows. Why not? That's what kids are doing now. And I say kids because it's literally like...
Who just got on the Tonight Show, I heard? Someone we know. Someone said that at the Fahim, I think.
Oh, really?
I think Fahim is going to be huge. Fahim Anwar is another comic you should check out.
Brilliant.
Fahim Anwar.
And Fahim is another example.
So funny.
Of just an absolute brilliant guy that refuses to take no for an answer. He will not, what do
you mean?
He put out his special on YouTube. YouTube fucked up. And basically...
what happened?
Demonetized it, took it off.
Why?
Or whatever. For one little thing. And it was up for a little while. He put out a whole tape about this. But... So he just started putting out more and more full sets of his. Just being like, all right, that whole special I just worked on didn't get the launch I wanted. He's like, fuck it. And he just kept going, man. And I see him at the Improv just crushing, man.
Crushing.
Yes. And I love it. Doing accents, doing straight stuff, everything.
Yeah, I watched him at the store.
Chilly.
Very. We're 2 minutes away. I watched him at the store, and he crushed. And I had to follow him, and he's gotten so good. Fahim has gotten so good that it's a little scary to follow him because, he sets a high bar.
Absolutely.
And that's great, by the way, for everyone involved.
Absolutely.
The audience, the fellow comics who realize they can't do their usual lazy shit.
Yeah. No, I love it when comics go out there and scroll through their phone and they go, what else happened today?
Yeah.
And it's those are my favorite times. But all right, before we go, let's get a little bit more. So Conan O'Brien, that's the big break.
That was a big thing for me. And it's so funny. It's not like, and I certainly haven't had this obviously, but the overnight success thing is just so incremental.
Yeah.
I guess there are people who have quote-unquote overnight success, especially in this age of, internet sensation, viral stuff. But those are always real flash in the pans. Yeah. Those are always, dissipated very quickly because it's not built on a foundation, as they say in the Bible. You cannot build your house on sand.
That's right.
Right?
Yep. The Haktua girl learned that,
Oh my God. The Haktua girl.
Hugely successful.
I had no idea about that till I appeared on Shane Torres and Catherine Blandford's podcast, where they told me about her. And I was like, you have got to be fucking kidding me that person became very famous.
Yeah.
And eventually wound up a fucking villain because of crypto.
A rug puller. Yeah.
Just an insane... Boy, if that isn't the modern day... That's 45. If that isn't the modern day fucking story...
Well, Harrison Ford was discovered on a construction site, And Haktua was discovered by describing fellatio on a sidewalk while hammered on someone else's
Harrison Ford being discovered on a construction site is funny. It's like somebody looking and going, my God, I think that's Harrison Ford.
Well, man, what's really disappointing is for years I worked construction. Out here thinking I would get discovered. Nobody came by. I just, and I wasn't very good, and it was very hot. I'm very pale, so it was no good.
Yeah.
But you buy into these Hollywood dreams, the next thing you know, you got a little bit of melanoma. It's no good.
I've had a lot of that shit too.
Ooh, it's no good. Okay, so
we could continue this another time.
Absolutely.
Did you have one more question though?
No, I just appreciate you, pal. You know,
No, I appreciate you, buddy.
hilarious gentleman. I love hearing this stuff too because, and I want to see a lot of this older stuff, like you doing your one-man shows, and I'm sure you got a Betamax back in your apartment, or you got, something.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, I'll show you some of that.
I'd love to see some of that.
I got to dig through that.
And I guarantee you our
Wish I had
patrons
more,
would
huh?
want to see that too. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I that stuff is very interesting. How did Pepitone get, the molding of
Took
the
a long
clay?
time.
But yeah, yes, folks, look forward April at the Lab at the Hollywood Improv. Pepitone and myself will be doing kind of whatever we want, which I think is
I'll put it on my website, eddiepepitone.com. I'll get Team Pepitone on that.
Oh, it's going to be exciting. Go over to YouTube. We're at 3,010 subscribers. And guys, keep piling on. We really appreciate you. We know, a lot of you guys are out there for the big names. But the fact that a lot of you guys are still here, for the boys under the tree with the little puppy dogs running around means the world to us. So throw us a subscribe.
The boys under the trees are brought to you by Nestle's. Nestle's. We're here to kill poor people.
Nestle, we bet you're thirsty. Go over to YouTube and subscribe. Go over to patreon.com/Eddie Pepitone. And for $5 or $20, you can support us. And that is much appreciated. For that support, we're going to give you the video version of this podcast the day that it comes out, as opposed to a week later for everybody else. And you get some exclusive stand-up clips. And then things like we were talking about, I want to get some stuff from the archives and give them to you guys. And I'll, of course, watch them myself. Then go to eddiepepitone.com if you want to find out when he's coming to your town and get tickets and all that good stuff.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.